What if I told you that you could literally change your reality? Well, today we're breaking down a super powerful guide to do exactly that. We're going to map out a clear, step-by-step plan to help you start creating the life you actually want.
So, I guess the real question is, are you ready? Are you ready to stop just letting life happen to you and instead start consciously designing your own future? Because that is exactly what we're about to get into.
Okay, so our journey starts with the most important step of all, figuring out your destination, right? I mean, you can't get somewhere new if you have no idea where you're going. This first part is all about creating a super clear, vivid vision for your future.
And here's the first big shift in thinking. We're not just asking, what stuff do you want? We're asking, who do you want to be? See, we're starting from the inside out. We're getting right to the core of who you are or who you're becoming.
So to build this big vision, it helps to break it down into smaller, more tangible pieces. This isn't some vague daydream. We're talking specifics. What do you want to have? What do you want to do? And what kind of experiences do you want to, well, experience? You've got to get crystal clear on all three of these.
Now we go a layer deeper. Once you know what you want, you've got to define the person who already has all those things. How does that version of you think every day? What emotions are they feeling on a regular basis? And, probably most important, how do they act? This internal blueprint, that's the real key.
All right, so we've got our destination, your ideal self. That's the exciting part. Now we have to take an honest look at where you are right now and really face that gap, that chasm that exists between those 2 points. And you can see the contrast, right? On one side, you've got the old patterns of the current self, the complaining, the blaming, playing the victim, all the habits that keep you stuck. But on the other side is your ideal self, the one who thinks, feels, and acts in total alignment with their vision. So the real question becomes, what do you need to leave behind to get over there?
And really, that's your mission, plain and simple. It's not about trying to become some totally different person. It's about letting go, shedding the habits and the thought patterns that just don't serve the person you're becoming. And it has to be a conscious choice.
So how do you actually do that? How do you break those old habits? Well, it's time for the training montage. We're basically heading into the mental gym to rewire your brain so that it starts supporting your new reality instead of trying to sabotage it.
Now get ready for this number, 95%. That's the percentage of your thoughts that are running completely on autopilot, totally unconscious. And that is why just trying to think positive usually doesn't stick. We've got to go deeper.
Think of it this way. Your thoughts are like a radio frequency. They are literally tuning you into a specific version of reality. So, if you have no idea what thoughts you're broadcasting all day, then you have zero control over the reality you're creating. Awareness is everything. It's the first step to taking back that control.
And here's a super practical way to do it. It's a simple 4-step process. First, just start monitoring your thoughts. Pay attention without judgment. Second, notice when an old familiar pattern from the old you pops up. Third, and this is key, interrupt it. Literally say change in your head. It acts like a circuit breaker for your brain. And fourth, in that little space you just created, consciously choose a new thought, one that lines up with the person you want to be. Okay, so once you've started doing that internal work, changing your thoughts, the moment of truth is going to arrive. It's time to take new action in the real world. And that means stepping right up to and walking through the threshold, the portal of fear.
I love this quote because it completely flips how we think about fear. I mean, think about it. If you already knew how to get everything you wanted, you'd already have it, right? So by definition, everything you desire has to be just outside your comfort zone. It's in the unknown.
So why is the unknown so darn scary? Well, your brain's #1 job is to keep you safe. And for your brain, known equals safe. Even if your current situation makes you miserable, it's familiar, it's known. A new path is unfamiliar, so your brain flags it as dangerous. Just understanding that can take away so much of its power.
And that fear, that portal, can show up in some very real-world situations. Maybe for you, it's the fear of being judged if you start posting your work online. Or maybe it's the fear of failure that's stopping you from opening that business. Or hey, maybe it's the fear of rejection that keeps you from just talking to that person you like. Whatever it is for you, that's your portal.
So, you've crossed that threshold, you've taken that scary action. Now what? How do you make this new reality your new normal? The answer is in our final step.
creating a daily ritual that anchors you in your future starting today.
We're talking about daily visualization. And the goal here is actually twofold. First, it's about training your body to emotionally feel what it's like to already be living that new life. And second, it's about teaching your nervous system that this new reality is actually safe and normal.
Now, this is way more than just wishful thinking. To really make this work, you have to engage all of your senses. Don't just see your goal. What does it feel like in your hands? What sounds are around you? Are there any specific smells? The more vivid and real you can make it in your mind, the more you'll connect with the feeling of it and the faster your reality will start to shift.
So I'll leave you with this question. When you think about your vision and you look at that gap between where you are and where you want to be, what is the first, maybe small, but definitely scary step you can take through your own personal portal of fear?